So we're going to have a quick look at energy system development for the sport of volleyball. Firstly, looking at the demands of the sport. If we look at the numbers, point durations are short, on average coming out at 5 seconds of action. Rest time between points can vary due to the fact that in the rules there is no official rest time compared to a sport like tennis where the referee keeps it on 20 seconds or beach volleyball on 12. In volleyball, you have to wait until both teams are ready and they go again. And there's also a number of timeouts, technical timeouts, and lots of substitutions allowed. So the pace of the game is generally reasonably slow with an average rest period of 29 seconds, giving us a work-rest ratio of 1:6. Other thing to factor in that match time for a 5-setter can be reasonably long, 2 hours plus. So there's some need for the aerobic system due to the length of the match, but predominantly it's anaerobic alactic efforts. So what that means is short, high-intensity efforts with relatively long period in between to recover. So I want to zoom in on one study here, which looked at different rest periods and how that influenced jump performance. So this was done on Brazilian volleyball athletes, and the task was to complete 30 spike jumps. And then halfway through, so at 15 spike jumps, they measured heart rate and blood lactate levels, and then again at after 30 jumps, so 0, 15 and 30 jumps, they measured heart rate and blood lactate levels, and the different conditions that they did it under was with 8 seconds rest between efforts, 14 seconds rest, 17 seconds rest, and 20 seconds rest. And what they saw with the short rest period was that you weren't recovering sufficiently in order to maintain your output, jump height, quality of your actions. Your heart rate was going up, your blood lactate levels were going up. With the 14 to 17 second intervals, the body was more able to find that steady state and keep the quality of output on the jumps. So this study, I think, has good implications for volleyball coaches. Often you're running drills where you're putting an extra ball in, or you're challenging the team to with a shorter recovery period, which is fine. There's a place for that style of work, but in general, if you want to maintain the quality of your practice, you need to have sufficient rest between actions. So that's the main take-home message there. Give enough rest period between your actions in order to maintain the quality during your training sessions. So advice in general for all athletes, it is a intermittent, short, high-quality efforts with decent recovery in between. So you need to train predominantly this way. Of course, it's good to train for the worst-case scenario as well. Not all points are short, 5 seconds, so you need to train for those longer points. There can be periods where the rest periods are shortened, so you need to be prepared for that. That has its place, absolutely, but the majority of your training should be with sufficient recovery. For the youth athletes, sometimes with these LTAD models, they say there's different windows of opportunity for aerobic system and this and that. My reading around it has shown that you can improve your endurance capabilities through all age groups. So there's no specific need in the case of volleyball to really focus on it in a particular period. And it just needs to be developed in general throughout the entire span. And for your total athletic development for the young players, I believe it'd be good for them to play another sport, play soccer. You're going to develop your aerobic engine doing that sort of stuff. Or more specifically, to help your volleyball, you could play beach volleyball, which we know the metabolic demands of that are much higher, so you can play some of that over summer and get some fitness benefits and also some volleyball benefits with that.